So coming into a comfortable seated position, whichever that is for you. So maybe sitting on your pillows or on books or whatever you want. You're going to allow the hands to fall open on the lap. And just allow yourself to mentally, physically and emotionally arrive into the space that you're in. Just becoming aware of the body. Becoming aware of the connection points between the body and the mat. Becoming aware of your physical body. Noticing any tension you're holding on to here, maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the ribs, maybe in the hips. Just allow it to release if you can. And then just become aware of the emotions or your emotion state. Maybe there's something that you're holding on to from the day or from the week, and just see if you can let it go. It may help to soften across the forehead and between the brows as you do so. And then just become aware of your mental state. Noticing, are your thoughts quick or slow? Are there any pauses in between these thoughts? Can you observe them? And then bring the awareness down to the breath, the heart space and the lungs. Just noticing this gentle rise and fall of the chest and the belly as you breathe. Allow each exhale to relax the shoulders, the hands and the arms a little bit more. And then slowly draw the hands into the center of the chest, bowing the head towards the hands and setting yourself the intention of letting go of whatever it is you're holding on to mentally, emotionally and physically throughout today's practice. Then slowly releasing the hands, coming into our first shape or pose of this evening. So this first pose or shape is called sleeping or screaming swan. Some of you will have done this before with me. I'm going to start on the left side so that you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to come into a hands and knees position. From here you're going to slide the left knee towards the left wrist. Then you're going to allow the left foot to come towards the right side of the mat. So again, it doesn't matter how far up you get it up here, okay, right? So it doesn't need to be parallel to the mat like we do in our yang practices. We're going to allow that right knee to walk back slightly. And then we're going to allow the body to come down. So normally we keep a level hips here in our yang practice. We're going to allow the body to fall onto the hip. So you're going to allow the outside of the leg to be down on the mat. Then to increase the stretch, we're looking for a stretch on the outside of the left hip here. You can begin to then take the left shin parallel to the mat at the top. If this is too much, then you can begin to bend the right knee and take the knee in line with the hips. So you're making two squares. And then staying in this position, if you've already got enough of a stretch in the left hip, or you can begin to come down onto the forearms or maybe onto a pillow or a blanket or whatever. down in the front, and allow the stretch to happen on the outside. If you'd like to take it further, obviously you can take that leg behind, and then same thing, coming down, you can bring your head to a bowl, so you can bring your head to a block. Sleeping swan. In this position, and again obviously you can come all the way down to the floor here. Staying in this position, or if you'd like to intensify it from sleeping to screaming swan, then you're going to take a book or a block if you have a block, lift that hip up and place the block anywhere in between, so closest to the knee is going to make it the most intense. So you're just going to allow the block to come down onto the hip to come down onto the block or the leg, and then you're slowly going to fold forward once again. And again, you can take the head to a block here, or maybe to the mat. And then whichever version you've taken of sleeping or screaming swan, it's quite an intense stretch. You're going to allow that left foot to relax. Allow the left leg to relax, almost like you're leaving that left hip sink into the mat a little bit more. Relax that right leg, right foot. And then take a long, slow, deep inhale. On the exhale, open the mouth, release. Relaxing everything a little bit further into the mat. As we stretch deep into the dense connective tissue around the hip joint here, we're going to imagine that every exhale is taking away whatever it is that you want to let go of. Coming back to that intention that we set. Focusing on your breath and your body for the remainder of the time in this pose. You may find here it's after increasing too much and it's a little too much for you to take, and you can just slowly back off a little bit by coming up onto the hands. Or if you'd like to take it a step further, maybe moving that block to a different point, or maybe adding the block if you don't have it already and it's in a comfortable position. And again, just allowing the body to relax down here. Allowing this deep stretch into the hip. Wringing out all those tissues, stimulating fibroblasts, collagen production. And most importantly, letting go of what no longer serves you in the body. Allow everything to release and relax. 3 more deep inhales and exhales here. And then very, very gently and mindfully Coming back onto the hands, releasing the block if you have taken the Screaming Swan or the book, whatever you want. Placing the hands back onto the shoulders, and you're slowly going to slide that foot again if you're pregnant, coming onto your back or maybe onto the belly, whichever feels more comfortable. Hands stacked underneath the head or hands down by the side, allowing the feet to fall off to the sides. And just observing here what's coming up for you. Observing what's releasing. Observing the chi or the energy created in the leg and the hip. Or maybe some space. Noticing the mental state, the pauses between the thoughts. And then slowly making your way back up into a hands and knees position. Coming into the right side, sliding that right knee towards the right wrist, right foot to the left side of the mat, and walking the left foot back. Here you have the option to come onto the right thigh and readjust the foot in this position. So readjusting foot, maybe coming to parallel to the mat in the front, whichever feels comfy. You're going to keep that leg behind you, or maybe take the knee in line with the hip and allow the two square version, especially if you're pregnant, not folding onto the leg but folding into the space between the legs. And then slowly coming into whichever version, maybe taking the head to the hands, or maybe to increase, putting a book or a block just below the knee. And again, coming down to your position. Taking a long, slow, deep inhale. On the exhale, allow that right hip to sink towards the mat. Allow the shoulders to relax. Allow the middle of the shoulder blades to relax. Allow that right foot and leg to just melt towards the mat. Again, focusing in on that sensation and energy we're creating here in the hip. Just allow the exhale to take it away and anything that doesn't serve you in your body. Again, coming back to those ease and steady pauses between the thoughts or maybe between the breath. Becoming aware of the stillness, the focus you can create so easily in the mind and in the body. Three more deep inhales and exhales in this deep hip stretch. Without losing focus, mentally planning your route into your rebound of choice. As little movement as possible. Slowly beginning to make that movement now. Replacing the hands under the shoulders, sliding the foot out, again taking the body onto the belly or onto the back. And just allow the sensations to flood into the area of the hip. What do they feel like for you in your body? If there was a word to describe what you're feeling, what would it be? And then very slowly beginning to make your way back into a seated position. This time coming into a version of child's pose of your choice. Looking for a stretch into the hips though, so maybe taking the wide leg variation if that's comfortable for you, or the wide knee variation. Depending on if you're pregnant, definitely wide knee variation, allow the space for the belly. If you're used to coming into child's pose and it's easy for you and this doesn't really give you much of a stretch into the hips, if you'd like to make more of a stretch into the forearms and underarms, you're more than welcome to take blocks under the hands and get that extra stretch, or maybe a little bit higher, depending on where you want to feel the stretch this evening. If you'd like to take some books and stack them under the hips, especially if your hips don't reach the floor, books and pillows. But I find, even though I can come into the full version of child's pose and look the most flexible, sometimes actually propping myself up onto books, taking my knees a little bit wider than my hips, or a little bit wider than I normally would, and then slowly coming forward. So you're kind of coming into a variation between child's pose and frog pose, and again maybe coming onto books with pillows here, or maybe onto a bolster if you're lucky enough to have one. Just allow this deep stretch into the center of the hips. So then cushioning onto the knees like I am if it's uncomfortable. Whichever version you've come into, just allow the body to relax to the earth. Allow the muscles in the quads and the hamstrings and glutes to relax, so all of the thigh muscles and the bum muscles. The lower ab muscles, allow them to relax. The upper back and shoulders gently melt towards the mat. Just allowing gravity and time to do all of the work here for you. You don't have to do anything, just breathe. Allow the breath to take away whatever it is that no longer serves you in your body, or maybe in your mental or emotional body. Allowing the body to relax, the mind to be at ease for the remainder of the pose. Taking a deep inhale. On the exhale, relax and release. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, release. Just noticing how the body feels, how the mind feels. Noticing any differences now compared to the beginning of the practice. Just a few more breaths here in this position. Just allow the body to relax a little further. And then very, very mindfully and gently walking the hands back closer to the knees. Releasing whatever it is you are sitting on if you are. Taking the knees together and slowly making your way back down onto the back this time. Option to take your pillows underneath the knees. And just observing here the sensations as they flood into the hips and around the tissues. Noticing, does it feel like water? Does it feel like tingling? What does it feel like in your body? Do you feel like you've created space? Do you feel like you've created a sense of calm, sense of ease? Do you feel like you've let anything go? Staying where you are, allowing the body to register this intense opening into the hips. And then allow the feet to fall to the sides, hands come down by the sides, palms face up. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, open them out, release. Inhale and exhale, release. Melting the backs of the shoulders, the backs of the head. Melt through the ribs, the belly and the hips. Soften the legs, the feet. Relax through the muscles of the face, the back of the head and the neck. Your whole body is relaxed. Whole body relaxed. Just allow the body to release and relax all the way down to the mat. Using the exhale to get rid of any remaining tension you may have in the body or the mind. To let go of what no longer serves you. Shavasana. You can stay where you are and take a longer Shavasana. Or you can gently invite some movement to the fingers and toes. Turning the head from side to side, waking up the spine. Bringing the feet together, you can take the feet to the cushions and push them away. Again, rolling to one side and taking a moment to just check in here with the space we've created in the physical body, in the mental body, and the energy we've created in the energetic body. And then slowly coming back to a comfortable seated position. Again, hands in prayer in the center of the chest. Bowing the head to the hands. And setting the intention to continue to let go whatever it is you've been holding on to for the rest of the evening or the rest of the week. Flickering the eyes open, taking one last deep inhale, palms to meet. Drawing the thumbs to the third eye point for clarity of thought. To the lips for honesty of speech. And to the heart space for the divine in me, honors the divine in you. Namaste. Thank you again.